I wanted to ask you if you've ever read this book, The Magus of Java, about this Chi master who was teaching, some amazing documentation of the power of Chi. And I wanted to ask you about the who you apprenticed under, Dr. Fu. Yeah. And I imagine you witnessed some pretty amazing things, and I was wondering if you could share some of those more far out things with me.
Yeah, so that was one of the key signs, because I always, as a kid, wanted to apprentice with a Qigong master, and it didn't happen. And as soon as I signed up for Chinese medicine school, some friend that I used to do triathlons with said, "Hey, you're doing Chinese medicine now? You should meet this guy." And I was very intimidated, but when I met, he pierced like X-rays into my soul.
Yeah.
His eyes are so intense, and he's got these eyebrows that go like very long eyebrows. He says, "These are like my antennas." He has a great sense of humor, but that first meeting was quite intimidating. And he peers into my soul with his intense eyes, and he says, "It's meant to be that we meet."
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because when people ask, I don't think he had ever taken an apprentice as female. He had only trained male students. His first question when he asked our mutual friends if I could come study with him was, "Is she strong?"
Yeah.
And everybody said, "Yeah, she wins medals in triathlon. She's really strong. She's like a triathlon coach. She works out. And she was an athlete in university, Division I, all this stuff." And he's like, "All right, she can come meet me." So what was wonderful is that he's from Beijing, and he doesn't speak very good English nor Cantonese. So he only spoke Mandarin. And because I'm not fluent, but good enough with my Mandarin and Cantonese and English, I was able to help him translate for all the patients.
Oh, wow.
So I got an exceptional amount of experience right from the get-go. Whenever I wasn't in Chinese medicine school, I was at his place. Mm-hmm. So just helping with all of his patient cases and translating and the intake and his diagnosis, his prognosis, all of that got me a ton of experience in how he thought, in how he, problem solves, so to speak. So with the Qigong stuff, a lot of what I learned was that he really instilled in me that the number one most important medicine when it comes to healing is now we would call it the frequency signature.
Yeah.
That is emanating from the healer. So the tools, tactics, like in Chinese medicine school, we learn exactly the function of each acupoint and, each herbal medicine ingredient, all of that. We nerd out on all that stuff. But Dr. Fu showed me that actually the most powerful medicine is the essence that the practitioner has cultivated.
Right.
And so he really, this is like bedside manners to, exponential levels of power, because he's really conscious of how to chameleon your energy. The moment the patient walks into the clinic, you assess their energy field from afar. And the moment you walk into the treatment room, you emanate the perfect field of medicine right from the get-go. Wow. Before you choose an acupoint, a herbal medicine, or do a specific Qigong healing, that it starts there, right? And then the Qigong healing, we saw some really phenomenal things, growth shrinking down and tissue tendon tears getting healed in miraculous ways and many different things like that. But really being around him, his worldview changed how I saw life, that I saw that being conscious of the energy that we bring to all the situations of life is something that, you and I share in common. We want to explore that with our children, and I wish that they taught these kinds of things in school.
Can you imagine if they did? I mean, if they really did, if they had even just a small portion of some of the things we're talking about as part of school when kids were young. I mean, you could change the world in a single generation if you were to incorporate some of these things into schooling, which is, I think, and I tell my children, it's the most important thing that you can learn. You may not realize it yet, but you will one day, it's crazy that it's.
I guess into the whole conversation that this reality up until now, I want to use the past tense because we're all stepping into a new reality now. The reality that we've been living in up until this time in this critical, pivotal moment in human history has been inverted, is backwards and upside down, right?
It sure feels like that.
Thinking of like material 3D reality, and we think that consciousness is some byproduct of some biochemistry.
Yeah.
When the truth is that consciousness is the root cause, and then out of that emanates electromagnetic energies and different kinds of energies that we're starting to have instruments for measuring.
Yeah.
And out of that comes the actual biochemistry and the molecular structures and physical realities and so on. So we're always mucking around at the level of effect in this world instead of looking at the root cause. And so this is we're just waking up to that right now. So all the paradigms, medicine, how we manage our life, education, all of that has to honor that inverted way of reality now.
Yeah, and there's a reassessment happening. And, say what you want about this pandemic and this virus and what's happening with the planet, but it is undoubtedly true that more people are coming around and starting to question what it is what we're doing on this beautiful planet and how we're treating it and what it means to be truly conscious.